want to go to Chris Whitfield. She is a D, and this is Chris's. There she is. Hi, Chris. And Chris is the director of the DC Department of Small and Local Business Development. I know that you all are all at home, but you have a major role right now because the district is so dependent and values its small businesses.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well,
shout out to before you start to our mayor Muriel Bowser, who I think has done a phenomenal job in keeping the district residents informed about what's going on across the board. And I know it's been tough, and I'm proud of her and her administration that's been available to speak with people about the things that are impacting their lives in the District of Columbia. So I also wanted to just say that as I welcome you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the program. And yeah, you know, on behalf of the mayor and on behalf of the Department of Small and Local Business Development, you know, the mayor, you know, put Washington, D.C. first, you know, as she always does. We were the first region to apply to the SBA for disaster relief. We were the first city in the region to be granted, you know, relief for the funds, which gave Washington, D.C., you know, the first opportunity to be first in line for these resources. And DSLBD's role right now, one of our roles is to help liaison with the SBA for the resources that are available, you know, for our small business community. We know that, you know, our small businesses are out there doing everything they can to survive during these uncertain times. The mayor, you know, has her small businesses at the forefront of her mind every day, trying to help us all figure out ways that we can endure through this pandemic. The SBA, as you know, through the CARES Act, has a multitude of resources. We want to encourage people to go to disasterrelief.sba.gov. The SBA can be a little bit of a daunting idea in terms of going to the SBA for, you know, for loans and grants, but, you know, we want people to know that DSLBD is a resource that is also here to help walk people through that resource. You know, there are loans. The loans, the EDIL loans, are up to $2 million. It's 30-year loans. The loan rate is 3.75% over 30 years. No payments for the first 6 months. You know, the CARES Act, and you know, there's so many things flying at businesses right now, and I think it can be overwhelming and confusing. So I think the other thing that we want people to know is that, you know, DSLBD is here to help translate some of these changing things. I think between the last round of the CARES Act, there have been a lot of information about, you know, the payroll protection program, debt forgiveness. You know, you're going to hear a lot of things. The 15th which is today, was the day that we were supposed to have sort of the final determination about how some of these programs were going to work. Admittedly, it's a whole lot to figure out, and I don't think we have the final answers on some of these programs. So, you know, and as soon as we do, the SBA has been making themselves very available. Last Friday, the deputy mayor hosted a tele-town hall. We had over 2,000 people attend our town hall with us to hear directly from Director Antonio Doss about the programs for the SBA. We will be holding more teletown halls to get more information out to people. You know, I think that the messaging that we want our small businesses to hear from us is that, you know, we are here with you. We understand that these are unprecedented times. You know, I was a former small business owner, and the guests you had on just before me, I think, speak to the ingenuity that our small businesses have. We know that people are doing everything they can to pivot in difficult times. We know people are using, you know, every resource they have, every bit of creativity they have to try and find a way through these times. And, and DSLBD knows that these times can be difficult and scary. And we want people to realize that they are not alone. I think that people think they have to suffer in silence. I talked to a business owner this morning that said, I've been in business for over 30 years. This is the first time I've ever had to ask for help. And I want people to hear very definitively from, on behalf of this mayor, that there is no shame in asking for help in difficult times. I think people feel like they shouldn't have to ask for help. We are all asking for help right now. And, this government and this agency, and there are a lot of supports that are out there. The COVID relief section of the mayor's website has a host of resources that can give people the answers that they need, or get them access to resources that they need.
So Chris, if I can just jump in real quick, because it's the when you bring up the issue of health, and I know firsthand what you mean by businesses feeling overwhelmed by so many things coming at them. And one of the challenges sometimes is just completing an application, making sure that you have all the information that's available, understanding the language. If someone, there's a requirement or some information that's required, and understanding what that means. Is does DSLBD, is there a hotline, or are you all available at all to talk
Yes.
to owners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are. So you can, there is a hotline on the SBA website where you can call them, but you can also call DSLBD 727-3900, hit option 7. And we have team members that can help walk you through the various applications. Our team members have taken some different training. We are not experts like the SBA, but we are experts in business, and we can help walk you through. So again, let me give that number. It's 727-3900, and then you don't have to listen to the full phone tree. Hit option 7.
We're hoping that we are actually tapping into some of our Facebook viewers to see if they have any questions that we might be able to get you to answer before we leave.
Okay, all right, put it on the spot there. All right, I like it.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do that. But I know that the hardest hit in the DC area have been the restaurants, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's my perception, that restaurants have been very, very hard hit. A lot of the employees of these restaurants, some, they don't make much money. Fortunately, the district was leading in making sure that, we were trying to get a decent living wage, even for restaurant workers. But and many of them, interestingly, are maybe undocumented. And so there are not a lot of resources that are available for them. But going back to the business side, is there anything that you see coming down the road for people who own restaurants or small carryouts? And the carryouts dominate some of our communities. People depend on those. What do you see that might be helpful for those types of businesses and business owners?
Well, I think the first thing we want to say is thank you to those restaurants that continue to serve our neighborhoods. I think that they have been a lifeline to a lot of the neighborhoods that are there. We know that, DSLBD has just closed a round of robust retail that we were able to grant, thanks to the mayor extending this round of grant funds, $800,000 to robust retail businesses across the city. I wish that I could say I had a magic 8-ball where I knew where we were going to be ending this, this pandemic. I don't. I do know that the more information we can get out there. Dr. Nesbitt was recently talking about at one of the mayor's press conferences that there has been some false information out there. So I think we need to repeat the truth as many times as we can. It is safe to eat from our restaurants. It is safe to have carry out. It is safe to support our local businesses. The businesses, need us to support them. We need to continue to to go, using social distancing and using the precautions that are put in place. We need to continue to support these restaurants that are there for us, and we need to be there for them. We know that those restaurants have found other ways to pivot and do meal plans and meal programs, and using other delivery services to find ways to expand their programming and expand the ways that they work together. And then also to each and every one of those businesses, apply for every program you
And
possibly.
don't give up.
Don't give up, but apply for everything. Apply for, the EDIL. Apply for everything you possibly can. I myself have initially been hesitant to encourage, businesses applying for loans. We are hopeful to find ways for, some of these loans to be relieved. But, I think in the short term, this is some of the best money out there on the street. It is some of the fastest money out there on the street, and DSLBD is here to help people access this money. If you're afraid to apply, if you feel like you need help getting your paperwork together, we are here to help you, to connect you with people that can help you. And let me also please say, do not pay someone to do this application for you. Fortunately, there is always a snake in the grass that is going to find a way to try and scam someone. And, and I think that is a market that has also found its way into our marketplace, where people are trying to scam businesses and say, pay me $1,000 and I will guarantee that you'll get these types of resources. And those are all scams. The resources and the SBA resources, it is free to apply, and, do not be fooled. So, call a trusted resource. DSLBD is a trusted resource, and we can connect you with free and trusted resources that can help you get these resources. Do not pay money to get these resources.
Another quick question for you, Chris, before we go. I know that your office or department also agency runs the CBE program as well. I mean, under you. And there's some people who might be in the midst of applying for CBE certification. Is that process being held up now because of the virus or the pandemic?
It is not being held up. Now, we're not doing the site visits that are part of the certification, but we are still taking those applications. DSLBD is on telework, as you can see. I'm in my home, but we are open for business. So other things continue, and and CBEs are as eligible for any of these resources as anybody. We focus a lot on the retail because I think they were the front lines to the pandemic. But let's be very clear that our CBEs are an important component of the economy of this city, and the CBEs are their pain is no less than any other sector of this economy. They provide supportive services, and we are here for you too, CBEs. The professional services and the contracts that are also getting canceled. Our CBEs need that support, and we are here to support all of you also. So,
closing, can you just give us one more time that number?
Yes, 202-737-3900, option 7.
737 or 727?
727-3900, option 7.
Okay. Chris, thank you so very much for being with us.